and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca and it's time for another whip and chat. So I have got a fair amount of my Oraloa Foxwoman done over the last week. I think we were around here somewhere, or maybe we were a bit further up, but I did get a good chunk done last night. Actually more than I thought I'd get done, but I did get to start a little bit earlier. So yeah, I'm hoping to do this section with you guys today and then maybe do the last section with you guys next week, before I get this de-kitted. So I have scheduled in to de-kit this kit and kit up my next one before June Waffle. So there are a few kitting ups coming over the next couple of weeks. I've actually got two coming up this next week. So I have a kitting up for a little paint gem mini set, because hubby and I have booked a weekend away, of course at the beginning of June, but we have booked a weekend away to Centre Parks, and I really enjoy taking the paint gem minis with me, because we do like to go out and sort of do something and then pop back to the room and have a chill. And I like to diamond paint, hubby likes to watch some TV or watch some YouTube, and then we'll decide what to do and then we'll nip back out. It's very much a bit of this and a bit of that we tend to do. So paint gem minis are a must. So I will be kitting up a set of paint gem minis this week. You might see my schedule has sort of fluctuated just a little bit this upcoming week. In fact, I think it might do the following week as well, but there are reasons behind it. My second kitting up for this week is June Waffle kitting up, and when I kit up for an event, so June Waffle or December Advent, I like to kit up on a Saturday. Don't ask me why, it's in my head, it's what I like to do. So I have so Monday and Wednesday are my days of no videos this week, because I've moved that kitting up video for June Waffle to on Saturday. So yeah, a couple of kitting ups, an unboxing, another whip and waffle, of course. There'll be Thursday's whip and waffle will still be there. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun couple of weeks. I will then de-kit this next week and kit up my new square painting the week after, just before we start June Waffle off. So I'm very excited to get kitting up for that. So if you haven't kitted up for June Waffle yet, feel free to join me on Saturday when I kit mine up. Am I organised? No. I'm pretty sure I know what painting I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I've decided to do Artist's Room by Diamond Art Club. However, I have not got it out of its box. I have not checked its size, checked it's going to work and not give me too big a sections for each day. So I reserve the right to change my mind, come back on Saturday for a final answer in relation to that. I have uncovered just a set section for today. Time can so much get away with me when I'm doing these whip and waffles in the day, and I absolutely love doing them. But because we are going away at the weekend that's the end of May, beginning of June, because we are going away then, I will be ensuring that I have, of course, June waffle videos up and ready to start June off with a bang. So if I limit my WIP and waffles for the next couple of Sundays, I will have things to talk about. That's the plan anyway. But yeah, it's been a rather exciting week here at Admore's Nest. It's been launch weekend, of course, and while I am filming this beforehand, and I should really be using my black and white striped tray, which I have been using for most of the week when I've been doing my own diamond painting, there is a reason, one of the exciting reasons, that I'm actually using a white one, primarily because it goes with this pen, though I suppose this pen goes with the other one. But you may notice I'm doing a bit more multi-placing on this one than I normally do, and I don't normally do it this way, although that's not too bad with this. I received a couple of parcels this week. They actually arrived while I was, hubby had a hospital appointment, so Wednesday I got orders out and then went with him. They actually arrived while we were out, and we ended up being out all day. One of those. But yeah, we ended up being out all day, and it then took me until the next evening to actually open them. But I received a package from Kim. I have thanked Kim individually, but I thank you again, Kim. She sent me some 2 Diamond Art Club 4-placer tips, and some putty that she's made, so sort of like an addition to normal putty, that she's advised works a lot longer than normal putty. So I do have it in this tip. She sent me a full printout of how is best to put this said putty into the Diamond Art Club places. So I followed that down the line yesterday evening. Once I opened the package, I followed the instructions and then got rather excited, got out my diamond painting and did that whole big section. There wasn't a huge amount of multi-placing, but I did find I was really enjoying multi-placing, and sort of giving the putty a try and stuff. She's made it based off the lemon putty that we put in last year's Advent. So yeah, that's rather exciting. So thank you again so much, Kim. I haven't yet dived into the sweeties, but they are the gummy bears. I got sent some sweeties. Was it Kim? I don't think it was. Memory for names is awful. But anyway, it's American sweets that I have been sent before, and they are divine. So I am trying to ration when I open a packet. So tomorrow will probably be the first day as I prep for launch on my own, because Megan's at a wedding. So yeah, I think I will save my first bag to treat myself to this upcoming weekend. And then secondly, I got a parcel from Mindy and Katie, which I was not expecting at all, and it was jam-packed full of goodies. There was t-shirts, magnets, bookmarks, postcards, a cookbook, some Lego, which I'm going to try and squeeze in around as my downtime this weekend. Yeah, some jam, some gummy bear sweeties, some licorice sweeties, all primarily based around Maine. Yeah, so absolutely fantastic goodies today. It felt like my birthday again. Even though my birthday has been and gone, it definitely felt like my birthday again. So some of the kids have got eyes on the t-shirts already. Oh, there was a baseball cap in there as well. Hubby's got his eye on one of the Lego sets. He states there's no way that that car can be for me. I think he might have to fight Caris for it. But yeah, absolutely amazing load of goodies. So thank you very much to you all. It is greatly appreciated. And definitely brought a smile to my eyes last night and spurred me on to do a big diamond painting session on this painting, which was fun. I am due parcels today, so I do apologise. Luna is currently quietly barking at something. I'm not quite sure what, but she's been a good girl being quiet. That's the actual door. There's actually nobody there. I thought she got louder because there was somebody there, but no. I just needed to check. So anyway, yes, my wash is on. I am due parcels, but I am going to whip a chat and talk to you guys before it gets too hot in here. Because in the UK now, after all this miserable weather talk, we have, it seems as though we have completely skipped spring. Maybe we got one day of spring, the rest was all rain. And we're now into summer. It has been 22, 23 degrees, really warm. Yesterday, I actually had quite a leisurely day. I did get some of my special task bits done. If you're a member of the group, you will see I asked a question in relation to one of them, but I can say it out loud now. I've actually sort of made a start and made very good progress. But I've had a few things on my sort of special list that I've cycled through. So one of them is in relation to social media. My dad in Australia actually does like social media management stuff. I sort of know what he does, but I don't know what the title of it is. And he has very kindly agreed to do the social media for Admiral's Est. So you will start seeing a few more different types of posts and things. So I've been gathering information for him for that, having conversations with him about that. So yeah, that was my first special task. So if anybody doesn't know, I can't remember which whip and waffle I discussed it in, but I have so many ideas that are constantly floating around my head in things that I want to do, things that I need to do, but they're all things that is when I get the time, and the time never comes. So social media has primarily been Megan's role within Admiral's Est, but you may have noticed she's also been extremely busy recently, so posts have been a little bit few and far between. We do the product announcements, but apart from that I feel like there's nothing else there, and for me to take it over would involve a bit of a learning curve for me, you know, to get up to speed and dedicate a huge amount of time, which would have been my special task to do if I hadn't had a conversation with my dad. So anyway, so yes, that was my first special task, to get all that together. So I've actually spoke to him again this morning. The ball is now in his court, and things will start flowing soon. So that was special task number 1. Special task number 2, I have been, the toolkit bundles on the website have been sort of dwindling down, and I have been wanting to give them a revamp. Now we do cover paper, which I think is That one was also not the door. For anybody that's interested, that was somebody over the road getting in their car to go out. She's just heard the door slamming and figured that they were coming here. I've actually got the back door open because it is so warm today. It will take any breeze going. So apologies, we may have a few more missteps. Anyway, so yeah, my second special task that I set myself was toolkit bundles. I have been meaning to revamp them for a while, sort of readjust what's in them, get some more colours, things like that. So my main special task for last week was to revamp all the toolkit bundles that I had zesty trays and things printed for, and find different cover paper that would match, and assemble, you know, a good chunk of them, and get them on the website, which I'm happy to say I finished that task last week. There will be more colours coming in the toolkit bundles and things. I actually have quite a few different filaments that I want to do toolkit bundles with, but the special task project was more the figuring out what was going in what, sorting out the logistics and all that sort of jazz that goes with it, checking the pricing, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I worked on that last week. All the original colours are now back up as, all the original colours are now back up, revamped, and I know one of them which may not be there anymore, depending on if it's sold between me making this video and and launch. But like one of them, the purple toolkit bundle, there was only one of. It was a tray that we have. I do plan on doing more and printing more of the colour, but I want to make sure that I have the trays printed and the toolkit bundles assembled, and then they will go up on the website. So you will see colours when they go out of stock disappearing, and then you will see colours coming back. There may be slight changes when they come back, depending on if we found different products that we want to pop in it, sort of vary them up a little bit. Different colours of trays. We're basically thinking we're going to print, because we get each colour in sort of a roll, we're going to print a certain amount which will be for putting in toolkit bundles. Then we will use the rest of the roll printing some tray sets, with like an Add More Zest, a Zesty and a trash tray, and they will go up on the site once the whole roll has been printed. They will go up on the site as sort of a limited, not a launch, but just as and when they will go up, for the option for you to purchase those. And then once they're gone, the next time that toolkit bundle runs out, we will pick, you know, a different shade of the colour, or you know, change something in it to make it a little bit different. So they will be sort of a constant cycle. So last week, I managed to get some of each of the previous colours up, and any excess zesty trays, rather than keeping hold of them for the next bundle, they have been put on the website individually as well. And once they're gone, once a toolkit bundle is gone, we will then look at bringing out a new one with potential slight changes, and we're also, I say, looking at doing new colours, but it can take at least a week to print through a roll of filament, quite often more than a week, depending, you know, and printers are constantly in use for stock trays and for launch trays. So the priority will be launch trays and stock trays to ensure that they are all ready. And every time I can, I will pop on a new colour or a refresh of an existing colour. And they will go up as and when. So yeah, that was my special project number 2, which was completed. And my current special project that I can now talk about, because it's actually well underway, is Christmas talk, so apologies. But for the Advent for 2024, I want to do a blog on the website, just, you know, showing what each item is and an explanation sort of behind each item if relevant, or examples of items, again, if relevant. So yeah, just little snippets about each item, not huge amounts. Believe me, it takes long enough to write a small snippet for 24 different days. I find it a lot easier to chat to you all on the WIP and Waffle, which of course I will still be doing in December Advent. I will still be opening the Advent calendar and discussing it. But there is, you know, a need, I believe, or a desire for somewhere for it written down, whether it's those that don't watch YouTube or they have a quick question and they don't want to start watching the video because they're saving them for a diamond painting day or whatever. Whatever the reason may be, I think there is a place for there to be just sort of a little written rundown. So yeah, my latest special project is that. And at the moment, I just write one of the days per day, Monday to Friday. Every time my special task pops up on my daily admin, I will go and write a post at some point in that day, and then once they're all written, then I will need to go through, check them all, put any pictures in. You know, there'll be lots and lots of little steps for me to do, but it will actually get done rather than being an idea that I want to do, because I know I will not have time to actually do all the writing, photos, everything in December. Not while doing December Advent itself, and of course Christmas happens in our house too. So I just know that as much as it was an idea that I wanted to do, it was something that I had to do early. This is probably a bit too early than what's actually needed, but it's a task that I really, really would like to be able to have on the website for anybody that purchases the Advent. So yeah, that is my daily task at the moment while waiting in the hospital for his appointment. I did actually take my laptop with me. I did get a few days written on that day, but since then I've just been doing one a day in with the daily tasks. And yeah, there's a few more exciting things that I have planned, things I want to work on, work towards, and occasionally, you know, if I do have 5-10 minutes of, you know, should we say spare time, maybe waiting for the postman to come and collect, she can hear a van door is what she can hear, a van door opening and closing. And we have that many deliveries, she thinks it's coming here, which it might be, but the doorbell hasn't gone yet. But that is what she's barking at. I've just heard it. That must be what she barked at before, the door closing. Or maybe they closed the boot of the car or something, and she figured that somebody was coming to deliver something here. So, yeah, I think, what was I saying? She's distracted me now. She was all lay down, sleeping on the couch when I started doing this whip and waffle, which is why I decided to do it at this time in the day rather than doing it later, was because she'd settled down. But maybe that's a bad idea. But yeah, I have lots more special tasks that I want to do. That was it. So if I do have, you know, say I've got the post ready for the postman, I've come in the house, but he's not due for 10-15 minutes, then working on my special task has actually worked out sort of like a perfect little, do you know what I mean? It's not quite time to switch off for the day, but you know, what can I do to be productive? And yeah, it's really, really helped me focus. So if you have loads of things, whether it be crafts that you want to do, whether it be little jobs around the house, maybe, you know, those jobs that do only take 5 minutes, but it's remembering to do it when you have those 5 minutes. Maybe set yourself a task of doing a special task or towards a special task a day. It's not a matter of completing it, it's a matter of taking a step towards it. And I found, especially with the toolkit bundles, I got one toolkit bundle ready that I, you know, had been the initial idea floating around in my head. I got that one done quite a few days before I ended up getting the others done, like maybe even a week before I got the others done. And then actually the next few days were done, you know, figuring out what was going to go in the future bundles and doing those little small steps before I then actually ended up spending a couple of hours with Catherine while she was home, and she helped me get them all ready and pack them all up, and she was trying to avoid doing an essay, I think. But yeah, it's sort of, you know, sometimes it's the getting started, and then you do have spurts where you spend a lot more time on it. But at the same point, my goal is to just do something. Doesn't have to be big. So it could be ordering some different pens for going in some toolkit bundles. That's it. 2-minute task, if that. Well, probably longer by the time I've picked from the selection I can. But, you know, it's sort of, it keeps it in your mind, but not guilt with it. Does that make sense? You don't have the guilt because you are working towards getting it completed, but it keeps it in your mind so that it doesn't keep rearing its head along with the guilt. You're actually moving forward on it and progressing each day. Anyway, I have rambled on for long enough. I'm getting to the point of nearly completing this and I've not gone to any comments, questions. I'm going to have a bucket ton, but I felt like I had a lot more updates for you guys this week. And yeah, it sort of got away with me. I actually feel like I'm finishing this section rather quickly as well. I know I've had to pause this a few times, but I still feel like it's getting away from me. Anyway, let's go to some comments and questions, because looking at my diamond painting, I have 2 colours left to do. If this does end up being super short and sweet, I'll leave a bigger section for next week's and do a longer one next week. Because until I put all these pieces together on my computer, I don't actually know how long it's been, because I have to keep stopping for the dog. Yeah, Elizabeth, she says, good morning from Southern California. She says she's not watched my whip and chats in a while. So it's nice to be back. She said she is currently working on a golden cocker spaniel by Peggy Collins. Though Dowshans, I can never say that word right either. Dachshunds, that's it. And my favourite breed of dog. Cocker Spaniels are a strong second. She said she went to Las Vegas last week. Ooh, viva Las Vegas. She said she had fun and it was great not to have her sinuses bothering her. Sometimes it is nice just for the climate, isn't it? Just to go away. It's, you know, whether it be warmer weather or whether it be less humid or whether there be less pollen, any of those things can just make a break so enjoyable. She says, speaking of hankies, she says her Canadian grandma always carried a pink hanky. She said she was a child of the 60s and 70s, so she has wonderful memories. Yes, there are definitely perks to each generation, I think. And I think a lot of us have done really well with the sort of generation that we've grown up in. I'm happy with the generation I grew up in, though it's changed a lot, but I'm happy with it. Mysterious Days, she says she's working on watch number 2 after a few days. These must be comments from one of my longer waffles. She says she ended up getting sick with a bug. Ooh. So she rescheduled her test for next Friday, the 10th of May. Oh, that's actually the day I am filming this. So all the best for your test today. I'm sure you will do amazing. She said it's an annoyance, she says, but it is worth it to her, as she doesn't want to be sick, which is fair enough. As much as you can say, if anything, you know, were to happen with you not passing the test, as much as you can say, oh, it's because I was sick, it's still going to knock you. Your best being on feeling your best and then giving it your best. She says she has finally ended up finishing her moonlight bath a few days ago, which she started on April the 11th, 2023. That one is a long time in the completion. That must feel so good. She says now she's decided to kit down day fishing at the mill from Diamond Art Club, as she was not enjoying it. She's working on finishing up the last 3 budget paintings that she has, and then she's going to work on Cosmic Trip. I do think you have enough going on with your revision and your tests and your exams and all that sort of stuff that you need your diamond painting to be what you enjoy. You really do. It's your downtime, it's your switch off time, and you need to make the most of it. She says she can't wait anymore for Cosmic Trip, so she's kitted it up. Love it. Get working on Cosmic Trip. If it makes you smile, it is worth it. That is what it's there for. She said today she ended up ordering the Twist On resin pen from Diamond Art Club and a few multi-placers. She ordered the 4 and the 7 and then a normal single placer with points. Well, I must say it took me a little bit to get used to this multi-placer last night. I think it was mainly like I put the putty in, but I think it also can take a little bit to sort of settle properly, and I ended up with a few that it picked it up a little bit wonky. I did wonder if it was the metal tip at first, but it wasn't. It was just the putty in the metal tip. So I had a bit of a rejig with it, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I enjoy the other like our standard multi-placer as well, but this is rather nice, provided I don't do any damage to it. I think this will definitely be used. But Kim did recommend a small pen just for turning it round as well, which is mainly why I got this pen out. Because she showed a small pen on her little instructions of putting the putty into the multiplacer. So I was like, let's go with the flow. So yeah, she's ordered those with Carry Mia by Mandy Manzano. She's wanted to do a Mandy for a while, and while she really wants to do Where the Fun Never Ends, she's not an Adventure Time fan. She says, but the colours made me fall in love. Sometimes you have to go for it, even if it's not, you know, don't go for it due to what it's representing. Go for it because you love the image. She says, but that was out of stock. And The Addams Family was one of her favourite movies, childhood favourites movie-wise. I do like doing the Mandy Manzano. I think it's the 310. Now, I know, you know, we all have a love-hate relationship with 310. But when it comes to Hannah Lynn or Mandy Manzano or one of the paintings I've got in here from Diamond Art Studio, where it's got the black outline and then the colour inside it, there's something so special about that. I just love the way they come together. She also says, as she diamond paints with her left hand, though she's right-handed, well, while she's waiting for a nail polish to dry. I was like that. Do you always diamond paint with your left when you're right-handed? No, she's diamond painting with her left hand while waiting for a nail polish to dry on her right. She says it makes her appreciate the speed that she has when she diamond paints with her dominant hand. It feels like she can place 2 to 3 more right-handed. It's crazy. Love it. Love the determination to continue diamond painting. That's for sure. She says, and yes, she knows she could have waited for her nails to dry, but she didn't want to waste her diamond painting with Rebecca time. Well, think of it this way. You got X amount of diamonds placed more than you would have done if you'd have waited for your nail varnish to dry. That's one way to look at it. Right, I managed to get through the grand sum of 2 comments. The next comment is actually last week's video, so those 2 were sort of a catch up from before. So it goes into quite a lot of comments and discussions over the days I do my WIP and waffles, my YouTube schedule and stuff. So it's probably a good idea that goes together. I know I've stopped a couple of times for the dog, so this may be just a bit under an hour in length, but as I say, if it's really short or shorter than I imagined, what I'll do is I'll save the bigger section for over here for next week. But of course, there are plenty more WIP and waffles coming. I've done a couple of really beefy ones over the last couple of weeks, if you've not caught up with those yet. And yeah, this turned into a proper waffle because I rambled on about all sorts of stuff before getting down to the nitty-gritty. But I know sometimes you like to know what's going on behind the scenes and my thought processing things that can sometimes help you guys with whatever you're doing. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.